I think that one of the more interesting aspects of Star Wars Episode 9 that's leaving me very curious is, of course, the path of Kylo Ren and his endgame in this movie. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one of the biggest questions of all going into Episode 9 has all to do exactly what will J.J. Abrams be doing with the character of Kylo Ren. Now, we do know two things, is that he's changing certain elements of the character, and he's also taking him down a darker path, and will be adding a lot of Darth Vader elements to the character in order to make him very intimidating, and pretty much, you know, a character that will actually scare a lot of our heroes in the overall story, and will actually intimidate us, the audience, because I feel that Kylo Ren does need some improving, some improvement ever since The Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with Kylo Ren's new empire, or his new order, if you will. Specifically, a description of course, Kylo Ren's new order, showing a hangar bay full of new ship designs and stormtroopers. Kylo Ren is standing on what appears to be a raised platform in front of a whole army, in a similar fashion to Hux making his speech in Force Awakens. Next to him is Hux and two other male actors. In front of Kylo Ren, we see new TIE fighter designs that resemble his TIE silencer, as well as a ton of shuttles that are similar to Kylo's. There are a mixture of white stormtroopers, however new tiers are present. Some have black armor with white stripes on the shoulders with First Order symbols. There are also red stormtroopers with some black stripes on their shoulders. The red troopers stand in front and appear to be the highest tier. New walker designs are also seen. The headless AT-ATs briefly seen in The Force Awakens are back, with one walking in the background, as well as new AT-ST designs that have what appears to be arms with blasters on each side of the head of the AT-ST. The legs have a more stocky build to them. There are also new First Order officers decked out in white, much like Director Krennic. So I really wanted to go over all of this. Now, this definitely falls in line with the hangar base sequence that we have been hearing about for so very long right now. In fact, one of the lightsaber duels is going to take place in this hangar bay, from what it seems, from what we have been going over these past couple of weeks or so. However, what's really intriguing to me is, of course, the new designs of the AT-ATs and the AT-STs. Again, another thing that, was not shown in Star Wars The Last Jedi by writer and director Rian Johnson, another continuity error. Not so much an error, but just a consistency issue. In The Force Awakens, they showed us the AT-ATs in the background. Yes, it was a little hard to see, but I'm sure a lot of you guys saw them in the background on Starkiller Base. They were actual headless AT-ATs. Now, in Star Wars Episode 9, J.J. Abrams is bringing them back, since they were not seen in Star Wars The Last Jedi. So these headless AT-ATs are pretty much an improvement, because basically now they have no weakness at all whatsoever. And with that being said, the new AT-ST designs have these arms with gunners with blasters on them on each side of the head of this thing, with the legs being a more stocky build, which honestly sounds pretty cool. It sounds like that they're really trying to mix with new and old, and I kind of like that. I know some of you guys out there may be saying to yourselves, oh, this is just another copy by J.J. Abrams. I totally understand, your thoughts on there. But I think that, there will be a lot more new designs in Kylo Ren's new order, or his new empire, if you will. We do know that a lot of new starfighter designs by the First Order are going to be coming into play here for this movie. Now, the other thing that I do want to go over is, of course, the stormtroopers decked out in black armor, as well as stormtroopers decked out in red armor. Now, the ones in the red armor honestly really do intrigue me. I don't know about you guys, but I think that they're going to come up with a really cool name for that. I don't know what they're going to call them. In Rogue One, we had the Death Troopers. They were actually decked out in black, but these are actually described as looking like normal First Order stormtroopers in black armor. The Death Troopers had a similar look, but they had a different helmet design. So it was pretty much a totally different type of stormtrooper in Rogue One. Now going into Episode 9, they're all very similar, just different colors and different little designs on their shoulders and the chest plates, etc. And lastly, what I really do want to go over is, of course, alright, how Kylo Ren is actually standing on this stage of sorts, this platform, in a similar way to what Hux did on Starkiller Base when he's making that speech. We may very well be getting a certain similar situation like that in Episode 9 by Kylo Ren himself as Supreme Leader Ren. Kinda has a cool ring to it, right? Lastly though, you know, the last little tidbit that I do want to go over is the new First Order officers, right? They're all decked out in white, they got the black capes, reminds me of Director Krennic, so this could honestly all be a callback to the old Empire, and I think that's exactly what Kylo Ren is trying to do. I think he has a lot of knowledge about what the old Empire used to be like. Again, like I say, he has the old archives of the Empire, and he actually said that in The Force Awakens, so he knows a lot of stuff, and I'm sure that he has been going from planet to planet where the Empire stored a lot of different weapons and weaponry and all that. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.